just walk into the house wearing a straw hat that she turns around and it's off. Like, were you just wearing something? I was like, no.
Eslam's gonna come home with a vest and a scar across his chest, like the X.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I'm
shoot,
just gonna
man! I want to see
I'm
Ace
just
Arc
gonna like
too.
trim my
I want
chest hair
so
into
much.
the X. Yeah. All right, that's nasty. All
Eslam's
right.
about to hit her with the gumino dick.
We're gonna jump straight into your shows, Disco. What do you want to talk about today?
I found this show and it wasn't on my radar. I don't even think anybody knows about this show. It's a BET Plus. Like I didn't even know BET was still around.
I mean,
Uh,
I like Dion Cole. He's
They got a couple.
hilarious.
They got a couple
yeah,
spinoff channels:
yep,
Um,
BT Plus, BT Her, BT
yeah.
Jams.
Well, I was not aware of that, but I stumbled upon this show called
Yeah,
Average
this is like
Joe,
their
and Dion.
streaming.
Dion
Yeah,
is awesome. I follow him on Instagram. He's funny,
yeah.
funny dude, talented actor. But everybody in this cast goes so well. Let me see. Let me
I
pull up
feel
the
like I
page. Okay.
recognize the bald guy too. I just don't know his name. He's also like a
Yeah,
comedian, right?
he's called Malcolm Barrett, and he's
Yeah.
killer in the show. Everybody
Yeah.
in this show, like, they have such good synergy, especially the lady all the way to the left, Cynthia K. McWilliams. She plays
Hmm.
Kathy in the show, and honestly, she was my favorite character in the show. Like, meanwhile, all this stuff is going down, and like, Dion, his family. Well, his name's not Dion. His name is Joe. In the show, he almost gets killed. This is a basic little premise. He almost gets killed by these people because his father died, and his father's like stole like $10 million or $9 million from this like Russian drug dealer, and he stole it and kind of invested it and didn't tell his family, and then he died. And so now like these Russian people are trying to collect, and like they're going to the next person, Joe, his son. And so he kind of almost gets killed, but he ends up killing the people that kill him, and now that like digs him into this very slippery hole where now the Russians are looking for him, and then he goes, and then his family and his friend, the bald guy, ends up getting involved too, and then the lady Kathy at all on the left is dating the bald guy, so it's like this huge it just becomes it's like a domino effect. It just gets worse and worse for them. But the cast has such synergy. Dion Cole's so funny, but there's also like he shows range because it's a drama comedy. So there's like a lot of stuff that kind of like is serious, but also like they lighten the mood with like decent, really good comedy. And everybody did a phenomenal job in this show. And I think it was a pretty good show for a show that I just randomly just like, hey, what about this one? you know, I saw Dion. I think that was the main draw. He's a funny ass dude.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely recommend it. This is a one thumb up. Average Joe, check it out. The whole season is out. I loved it, especially just the nostalgia from BT and just getting like some black culture and just making such a fun show out of this script, and they brought it to life, and they really made me laugh, and also like it wasn't a bad show. Like, it was good. It was a fun watch. um so yeah, definitely check out this show, Average Joe. And let me pull up the next show. The next show is going to be One Piece. Let me just figure out what's happening.
It's One Piece live action.
One Piece live action, yes, you're right. Let's see, what the heck is um Well, ergo, why I have my straw hat. It's not exactly like his, but that's why I busted out for this episode because I knew I was going to talk about it. And I don't have the picture. Okay, let's see. But this show, honestly, it was a fun watch. It was a great watch. I never finished the whole anime, but I saw maybe like a little less than half, I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, so I got pretty deep, and then, I get my check-ins from my brother because he's still on top of it, and he like tells me like if anything crazy major happens. Um, but while watching this show, it really brought back nostalgia. Like, it's been 10 years since I've watched, or maybe 10 plus. I don't even know. So it was really fun to kind of see them bring back One Piece in a new light, new medium. The casting I felt like was pretty good all around, and I was kind of worried about that because the artwork animation is so weird. Sanji got like swirly eyebrows. There's like half human people, half fish, and all types of weird just animation is stuff in this show. So I was like, I don't know how it's going to translate, especially Chopper. you
Yeah.
know, he actually hasn't come out in the season, but I'm like dying to see how they do Chopper. Like, is he going to be like a weird CGI thing, or are they going to do? Is it going to be cute like Grogu, or like I don't know. Like, I'm very curious to see that. And I'm very curious to see how they're going to do Brook. Like that one,
Yeah, it's gonna be
bro, and a
interesting.
skeleton like that.
Well,
I want to
the
see
thing
that.
I was worried about with One Piece, I'm a huge fan, so the scale factor in One Piece, like so the fishmen, like the Arlong pirates, all of them averaged like twice the height of Luffy and crew, right? They were like, if Luffy was like like almost I don't know 5'8" or whatever, or 6 feet, let's say Zoro, like these guys were like at least like 12 feet tall. They were just that tall, and I was interested to see if they were gonna do stuff like that. But they decided not to because they are doing a lot of practical effects and some CGI stuff, but a lot of it is practical. So the fishmen were all in um, like
Makeup.
uh like makeup, yeah. So they were just regular people, regular size, but they were in makeup, which I thought was an interesting choice to do. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Jinbei is gonna look like, what Brooke is gonna look like, because
Yeah,
they're both like huge, and Frankie, like it's gonna be interesting to see Frankie, because like they're all like so much taller and bigger in stature. So and I wonder if they're going to bring the Giants into this. Like, there's so much to talk about. There's so much in One Piece that it's going to be kind of. It might disappoint a lot of people once it gets past like a certain point, because there's a lot of the lore has. It's integrated into like the scale and the size of these beings. So let's see what happens. But
yeah. I totally feel like just because One Piece is so long, they're gonna have to scale back. Like, I don't know, maybe even cut some parts or
yeah,
rework
well,
some
they
of it.
definitely did in here.
Um,
So I mean,
so
yeah.
I do feel like that's gonna piss off the purists, but it's like what you're not gonna get like 10 seasons
Like
or
I
like a
don't
million
expect
seasons of
this to
this to
be a
like
carbon copy of the manga or the anime, right? But
yeah.
I need them to keep it close enough where they're not deviating from the original source material too much in the character development. Like so, one thing that the creator Ichiro Oda had were like non-negotiables was romance between the crew. Like Netflix wasn't allowed to change that. Like they're not allowed to just start creating romances between the crew members, which I am so glad he did, because Netflix would have definitely started doing some bullshit.
Oh my god, somebody would have started dating Nami like
It instantly, yeah.
but
So
yeah, overall the casting was pretty good. I was kind of worried, but Anaki Godoy does a nice Luffy. He has that nice,
mm,
like, innocent, kind of naive, almost just pure,
yeah,
like, young dreamer type personality, and he does play that very well. Nami, at first, I was like, when you think about the anime, is like you think about the jugs, and so I was like, I don't know, is she gonna
well,
have
in the
like
beginning
overly
she didn't
huge?
have them.
Okay,
It was post timescape that she had the Tiggle
she
bitties.
hit puberty,
But yeah, before
and
that it was she
Zoro.
was
Zoro was a good casting too. My only thing with Sanji, which is, I was wondering if they're gonna do the eyebrow, and they didn't, which is
yeah, yeah.
okay. Um, I also, when I pictured Sanji in my head, I picture him a little slimmer and taller and lankier, but overall, he does do a good job. But so
Hmm.
it's just me nitpicking.
Yeah, yeah.
Shanks was good. Buggy
Uh
was phenomenal too in
I
the
did not
show.
like the Shanks casting, and I did not like Ben Beckman's casting. So let's see how
Uh,
they do that. But his first make,
Usopp,
yeah,
Usopp was pretty good.
yeah,
Who else was in it? Yeah, overall the people that I saw on the show were pretty decent. Kobe, Morgan Davies played a pretty good
yeah.
Kobe, I thought. everybody kind of they did a really good job of making it feel like the show. Like oh, like you immediately know who these characters are if you've seen it. So overall, it is a phenomenal show. They definitely brought back the nostalgia, and as I was watching it, I was like, oh, that did happen because, like I said, it's been over 10 years,
Yeah.
so I definitely remember all the main plot issues, but I don't remember all the small like tidbits that happened. So like seeing it. I did get like, oh, that did happen. Like Usopp was dating or like had a crush on this one chick, and all this other little Nami and her mom and Arlong, all that stuff, kind of like really brought it back to me. And granted, they did make some of their changes and whatnot with Garp and all around all the stuff, but overall, I thought it was a fun watch, and I think it's probably one of the better live actions that they've made, like in all of every live
So
action.
that's what everybody's been saying. Netflix broke the live action curse, where whenever an anime or manga gets adapted into live action, it's pure garbage, and
You didn't like Death Note?
It all started with Dragon Ball Evolution. I think that was really
OMG.
the
Well,
beginning
that
of
wasn't. Was that? Oh, well, it's you don't mean Netflix. You just mean like in general.
live action
I
adaptation in
gotcha.
Is
general.
that the one where they whitewashed everybody?
Yep.
Oh gosh, that was
So
they
yeah,
didn't even
so
try.
that was the beginning of the end, and then it took the amazing One Piece to finally break that curse. Because my God, listen, if I think Netflix knew if they fucked up on this one, they would have got bankrupt
Yeah,
because the
at the
One
same time
Piece.
though, it's like it's One Piece is the hardest one, I think. Like you guys mentioned it in terms of
Yeah.
scale and how ridiculous it is. That's the one where you're like, there's no way they're gonna fucking pull
Yeah,
this one
yeah.
off,
And
and
then
that's the
they
one they're doing
finally
the
did it. They
best.
came close with um Cowboy Bebop, and I enjoyed Cowboy
Mm.
Bebop. Like I didn't think it should have gotten canceled like it did, or
Oh, so
like
fast too. I was
like
upset.
the people were shitting on it so much
That
for
show sucked.
no reason. But I enjoyed Cowboy Bebop, and
That show walks so this show could run. Let's be real, because when I'm watching this, I
sure,
did I did think of a lot about Cowboy Bebop in terms of
yeah,
the style and stuff. Like
hmm
you can kind of see, it's like they kind of like really went for it with Cowboy Bebop, and like you guys did enjoy it for the most part. And that's one of those things where I feel like they kind of saw inspiration. It was like, okay, we could kind of go out of our comfort zone if we
hmm
need to, and they really did that in One Piece. So, for the
I
most
think
part,
the
that is
smart
cool.
decision for One Piece was to stay away from the CGI and to keep it practical. I think if they would
So
have went 100% CGI with, like, let's say the fishmen and uh, a lot of the other things like the ocean, like obviously the sea kings need to be CGI. There's certain things that have to be CGI, but the decision that they made to kind of like not make the fishmen 12 feet tall and just make them regular size and just but fishmen and these other things that they can kind of keep into reality because they have to, right? um, it was a smart decision on their end because it would have looked really bad if it was like 100% CGI. So I think that was a good decision. But yeah. Also, there was like a bunch of Easter eggs in this. One of them being like a really long running theory about the character Crocodile, and they pretty much like confirmed it here, which is hilarious. But yeah, which I wonder if this is gonna be like Ichiro Oda, because Ichiro Oda had like creative input in this. So I'm wondering if he did this as kind of like a teaser for what's gonna happen in the anime, or just like something like he's like, you guys can kind of do this. I'm not really gonna. This is fake. I'm not gonna do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. But yeah, it's interesting.
I'm sorry. I just
yeah,
thought of something. I did have a question I did want to ask you guys. Maybe it's just me misremembering. The pirate who hid the One Piece, who started the Pirate Age. What's his
Gold
name?
Roger.
Gold Rogers,
Why did I
Gold
think
D.
it was Gold D. Roger?
That comes out later on. But
Okay,
yes, you are right.
thank you. Okay,
His name was Gol space the letter D period as middle
okay.
name and then Roger.
And it's one of those things. I
And it
remember
and it
seeing
gets
that, and I was just
shown
like,
why
Monkey D. Luffy.
yeah, it
And
gets shown why later on why they started calling him Gold Roger instead of Gold
okay,
D Roger,
okay.
and that's because of the will of D, and they want to erase that from history.
Got that penis out there. Yep.
Yep.
Power of the D. Got the D Dragon,
Yeah. So
Dragon D.
I do want to
um,
ask though, like, well, no, say what you gotta say because I was gonna do something not One Piece related.
uh, wait, hold on. I forgot what I was gonna say. Overall, the show was good. Oh yeah, you already alluded to it. I saw some stuff with Crocodile. uh, they speculation. Nobody. I mean, they have some pretty good points. It's proven that it might be this, but they Crocodile next season might be like a woman. So that's kind of interesting.
so they already
Um,
showed Crocodile in the town square when they were executing Roger,
yeah,
and it was a
yeah.
female. And the theory is that Ivankov turned Crocodile into a male with
Yeah, they
uh,
showed the
with
anime
their
too.
um, with their devil fruit power, which is to control hormones.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw a clip in the anime too where they were like kind of alluding to that, were like kind of like dialogue
Well,
that
that's the
kind of
theory.
mentioned
That's
it,
where
but
the theory
also like
comes
just
from.
not clear. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's where the
that would be
theory
cool
comes
to
from.
kind of
The other theory
clear
is
up
that
that.
Crocodile could be Luffy's mom. So,
That is a thing. Um,
yeah.
so
So,
I mean, overall the show's
spoilers,
been really great.
but not
A lot of
spoilers.
nostalgia, like when Zoro fought Hawkeye. I really like Hawkeye too. I thought he looked cool, and
Yeah, they did a
especially
good job.
especially when he fought Zoro. Like I forgot that. So when I saw it, spoilers, when he fought Zoro, um, I forgot that he just pulls out like a little butter knife. I was like, bro, I dead ass forgot that. I was like,
Yeah,
really like
his little
on
dagger.
the tip of my seat, like watching this again. Like I really, it was a fun watch, and I really got to feel like I was a kid again, just watching my favorite kid shows and seeing that like I just felt giddy inside. So I
You should get
really
back into
well
One
done
Piece, bro.
show.
You'll
I'm
be
thinking
pleasantly
about it too,
surprised. You'll be
especially
pleasantly
because of the writer's
surprised.
strike. I'm like, yo, there's already like nothing to watch, so I'm like, I jumped back into the anime
And
again. I
and
started
and
watching
here's the
stuff.
thing, right? If the show is long and there's a lot of things that they can cut out and make a little bit more streamlined. So there is something called One Pace where they cut out all like the unnecessary like filler scenes and like transition scenes or whatever and kind of condenses the story of each arc into its like proper story.
That's fine.
I might be willing to give that a shot.
Yeah, so it's called
That
One
sounds like the
Pace.
thing
Yeah, so
because
for the anime, yeah, it'll cut down like all like the
It,
extra animation scenes that kind of like you need for a show but don't really need, that they kind of use to make it half an hour. So they
yeah.
kind of cut out all of that or any other bullshit scenes that don't need to be there.
but this
So
is an anime.
that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's
that's
the
one of the
it's
reasons.
someone took the original anime
And
and
they
just
edited it.
edited out
I got you.
the other stuff.
I
It's
would.
called One
I
Pace.
need somebody to do that for the manga.
Yeah.
I feel like piggybacking off what you said, I feel like one of the reasons I stopped watching One Piece was because like I felt like half of the episode they were just running and talking like, oh, all you hear is a little like plank, 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 plank. Hey, we have to go
Um,
here. Like,
that that happens in like in like two specific arcs because they were traveling a lot, and but yeah, not that's not most of the show. But yeah,
where I was, I got caught up in that.
yes,
'Cause I was
yes,
like, yo, they're still running. I was like, damn. I was like a little
yes.
after Archipelago or something. And it just felt like
Archipelago.
I
Yeah, so
seen Zoro.
you were in like
I
the
seen Zoro running like getting lost every episode. I'm like, dude,
oh yeah, yeah, that
That
was the
man's
funny
sense of
shit.
direction
That
is crazy.
yo, I love that so much. It's the
I
funniest
like
shit
how they
ever.
did it. They kind of alluded to that too in the season two. It was definitely, man, the nostalgia was there.
Yeah.
I really recommend this show, especially if you never if you've never seen it. I recommend watching the anime. And I know that's a daunting task, but I
I mean, if you've never seen it, you can watch the live action and
Yeah,
enjoy it for what it is. If you like it
they
enough to
really
go
want to
and
check it out.
watch the
Yeah,
anime, I highly recommend it. It's one of the greatest pieces of literature ever created.
yeah, totally. And
Spanning
I mean, I guess
25 years, people. Who can make a piece of literature that spans 25 years?
Vince McMahon.
The story's still going on, and it's it's just been around. It's been tested through time. It's just phenomenal. I can sit here and sing One Piece praise all day. That's what literally what I did into brainwashing Nadia into watching One Piece. So
You got to do it.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
just like
that's
whisper in her ear at night all the good shit about One Piece, so she can wake up in the morning and be like, I think I feel like watching One Piece. But
put
yeah,
it like on headphones recorder,
yeah.
just like talking about One Piece.
I'm just thinking
Just
I'm gonna
but
do
just
it for
play it
my.
backwards. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, watch One Piece. Yeah,
subliminal messages all
yeah,
over.
pretty
One
much.
Piece. Just write one and peace all over your house. Like
You just walk into the house wearing a straw hat that she turns around and it's off. I'm like, were you just wearing something? I was like, no.
that's when I'm gonna come home with a vest and a scar across his chest, like the X.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I'm
shoot,
just gonna
man! I want to see the
I'm
Ace
just
arc
gonna like
too.
trim my
Oh,
chest
Christ,
hair
so
into
much.
the X. Yeah. All right, that's
That
nasty. All
song's
right.
about to hit her with the gumino gumino dick. But I'll end it there. It was an amazing show. I
You can't just
definitely.
transition into like, oh, it's a good show.
All right,
No,
thanks everybody for watching the podcast.
they just came out here with some crazy shit. Like, so it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Like, no, you can't transition like that.
Actually, speaking of gumino gumino, that's one thing that kind of ticked me off. I don't know. It's just me, just over like I don't know. Everything was in English, but when he said gumino gumino, I was like, I know it's a homage to the anime, but it's like we're speaking English. I don't know. He
Did he
sounds
say
retarded.
Gumino? I thought he said gummy.
No, he
So in
said it
the
like
English dub, he says gum gum. In the manga, it's
In the
gomo
live action,
gomo.
he said gummy, or he said, did he say gum? What did he say in the live action?
So I think he tries to say gomo gomo no or
Okay,
gomo no mi pistol.
yeah. He
I didn't even
says it
notice.
like in the subs, like he like
Yeah.
homage. It's not
Mhm.
gum gum or like so. That kind of like ticked me off for like I guess consistency reasons, but overall like it's I know
If
it's
you
like
didn't
the
want to say
silliest thing.
gum gum, you could have said gomo gomo, but you don't have to
So,
add like the no me part.
yeah, so
Like
I just felt like I mean he did say gomo gomo. It's just I don't know. It's
it
just
doesn't sound
consistency
right. Okay.
because everybody's speaking English. And it's like there's no like Japanese at all, and then all of a sudden he uses his powers like gomo gomo like pistol, and I'm like you could just say gum gum. We're all American, like speaking English here, like
Yeah.
not American but speaking English. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that was just a small nitpick, and I know it's not nothing. I don't even know if
What's
anybody else really
I
interesting
cared.
want my
is
One Piece to
for
sound American.
like they're from
I reckon
Texas.
y'all done messed it up. In Texas, we
So
say gum
yeah.
gum.
Um, in the Netflix series, if you switch it to Japanese and English subtitles, the original voice actors from the
Oh,
anime
nice.
do the dubbing in Japanese for the live action.
I think I did know that was a thing. That's cool.
Yes, it's very cool.